What is going on, everyone? It's been so long. We miss you. If you listen to this later, we love it that you listened later, and you're our new friend. I'm here with my wife, Hilaire, the Yogi.
Hi.
Hi. Our special guest today is none other than our producer, Mr. James Webb.
Hello.
Hello.
It's me.
I just wanted to check in with everybody first. James, how's everything going?
Good.
Good.
Stressful.
Yeah.
But good.
Loaded question, stressful. I know. Same shit. What about you, baby?
Horrible. No, that's really the truth. And that's why I have Kleenex. Because this is not going to be funny at all today for me.
Yeah, because we really want to get into it today, guys, and we're really just going to kind of go with everything going on and the amount of people that I know personally, including, a loved one that is dealing with mental health issues and depression. And first, I'll ask you, James, first. It's like, So, buddy, you said growing up you had, what was it like for you? What was 8th grade like for you?
Oh, man. 8th grade, I was spending my first year in alternative school.
Okay.
Actually. I had, like, horrible, terrible, still do, it's like alcoholism or any disease, like, really bad anger issues.
Okay.
And, untethered as how old is 8th grade? Like 14, 15-year-old?
13,
yeah,
going into,
like,
right before your balls drop.
Right in the middle of the fall, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, you're just all that testosterone. You have no idea what's going on. Like,
your brain is changing constantly.
Oh yeah, like it was wild. And but that was right when I got kind of like the help that saved me.
You got help then.
Yeah, I was my story is long and weird, and like, I grew up fairly wealthy, like not like, Jeff Bezos or anything, but like my folks had money, and they put all that money into fixing me and my brother, because we were a fucking handful. And like I did a stint in military school for 7 weeks,
which
that
never works.
Didn't work out. And then they sent me back to regular school. This was 7th grade. And then right after I finished out 7th grade in regular school, I went to Glen Oaks Therapeutic Day School, which honestly saved me.
Because someone actually there you were able to open up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone there was, trained to handle, troubled youth. And
it's really important to get the right help, yeah.
Yeah, I credit them. Mike Carter, Kevin Deal. I can't remember everyone's names because I have so many fucking.
Is that in the Burbs?
It was in it was right off North Avenue, and I can't remember what the other street was, but it was in the Burbs.
So you were getting driven to school, like you were like not.
I took a short bus to school.
Okay,
I was one of those kids. Yeah.
Because you touched on that, and it's like, we're dealing with some stuff like that, and like the way I was too. I think any of us when we're 13, 14, like we're so, I could barely swallow sometimes because I was so nervous. Like,
Sure.
And I think mine came from, like they say, adult children of alcoholics. Like if you grow up with parents that are chaotic and like, don't get mad, Mom, I'm not talking about you. Just whatever. Just environments where you don't feel safe. That's what triggered mine. And literally till I was probably 25 years old, I couldn't leave a room without thinking someone was talking about me. I moved to New York City, because there was so much noise there that I could be distracted by all of the people that were just a lot of people move there with their problems and then start putting shit up their nose and hanging out, and it's easy to disappear into the chaos. So I didn't,
especially in like a big city environment like that.
And that's really what it was for me. But I feel so bad for all these kids, and not just kids, just people in general.
Well, Yes, I'm teaching virtually, but I'm still dealing with people every day, and I'm doing private sessions virtually, and that's happening a lot. And I can't tell you how many people right now are truly in trouble.
Yeah. So James, I was going to ask you, the anger issues, did you ever find out like what, I was definitely angry, and I still am in a lot of ways. Usually when we really look at it as we get older and stuff, we can pinpoint kind of that it's usually out of fear, anger, right?
Yeah.
Somewhat. So what was yours?
No, the short answer is no. Like there's no, I don't want to call it a scapegoat.
Sure.
But I don't have a scapegoat for it.
Right.
It's kind of, I don't want to place blame either. But this. My dad was an angry guy.
Yeah,
it's a hereditary thing.
Yeah,
it can be a hereditary
so
thing.
much of it is genetic, and that's really true. I'm fascinated by the brain. I look at pictures of the brain, truly, of the brain for fun.
Sure.
And how different brains fire. And it gives you great insight into people just in general. If you have a better understanding that, someone who's manic depressive, someone who's bipolar, someone who might be borderline personality, these brains all fire differently.
Sure.
And things get shut down and shut off. And there is a way to heal that and bring those things back together. But it takes the right help. Right. And
there's so many
that is a really tricky piece.
There's so many different kinds of help, even within, like one type of disorder, there's like 100 different ways to approach.
Well, and as someone who is in the space of searching, and I feel like we've been really blessed as far as the teams that we've had helping us so far. But I think, it's very confusing. It's a sea of people that you have to weed through to figure out who really. I feel like I'm back in the spin of my own cancer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to weed through all of that. Everyone, this is the best guy, and on
it's
paper,
also
and
like
this
you
is the best guy, and you have to weed through them to figure out who's actually going to be sorry everyone, fucking human being to give, to give the best care.
What I think it comes down to, which is the saddest, most frustrating part, is that every person I talk to, because I'm at the rehab still, where it's like I'm talking to people that worked at Rose Cans for 20 years, therapists, like they know all about all these different kind of behavioral things, and they all say, but you never know. It's almost like maybe they're more intuitive because of the schooling they have, but at the end of the day, they're like, we want to help. We don't exactly know. There's no cure for getting someone to feel better about themselves when their brain is like that. I mean, besides unless it's all chemical, and a lot of it has to do with our behaviors. Like I didn't start getting a little happier until I started going, like, hug yourself a little bit, Aaron. Like, love yourself. And I thought I did love myself, but that was that was mixed up with my ego. Yeah. And it's like, and it's true. And
it's easy to do, yeah.
And now, and I find myself to be compassionate, but a lot of times, the way I suffered, it's like it's hard to see it yourself.
Yeah.
And when you see a young man going through it, our stepson having his problems, and then like the kids I work with at the rehab that are like, these kids, when I talk to them, like, what's going on? They're like, I don't know, I'm angry, and it's all out of fear, and it breaks my heart because it's like the next thing is drugs, alcohol.
But it's everyone right now, and that's my biggest concern, because I understand what we're trying to do, and we are not talking about COVID. I'm over it, but what's happening right now with this isolation is truly doing real damage to people's mental health. I have grown people that I work with every day that because of this isolation have gone, they were 20 steps forward and have now gone 30 steps backwards because, one, they can't get the care that people need face-to-face. People need FaceTime. Yeah. And to do everything virtually, I get it, but it's not the same.
No.
You don't feel cared for the same way. And to me, as a yoga teacher and an intuitive teacher, so much of what I do is about love and care for other people. And it's very hard to not do what I do the way that I do it right now. I have so many complaints about what's happening right now as far as what can and what can't open and why. But yoga is something that stabilizes. It's literally proven to change the chemistry of the brain. This is something that should be open if for no other reason than to try to heal the mental health damage that's being done right now.
Meditate together or whatever.
It's the same. That's yoga. Yoga is meditation.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the same.
Yeah.
We are open, which is amazing. We have to wear masks to practice, but who gives a shit? That's great. Come in. We're open. So
did you just turn this into a pitch for the yoga studio? I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
You guys, if the camera goes black, it's because I'm literally murdering.
I just thought I thought I'd lighten it up
about
first.
mental health.
I thought, oh no, for sure.
He's not helping my mental health.
But okay, James, I want to ask you this too because you're the person with that's I've talked to about this.
Yeah.
No, listen. So
Yeah.
were you diagnosed with anything that you now feel like was more of like your attitude and your just having to grow up a little bit? Because what I think we all would deal with is like, I have my demons that they're never going to go away.
Right.
It's like the monster on my arm. I think it's inside me. Mm-hmm. And if I feed that, it grows. And if I don't, it kind of stays there. And it's like, what's up, dude? I'm sorry you don't love me anymore. But
I personally, no. I think I wasn't overdiagnosed like a lot of folks were. I was very lucky in that respect. I definitely, I had ADHD standard for pretty much everyone my age.
Why do they everyone talks about that? Is that a form of depression too because of the attention thing, or because it seems to affect people? It comes into to drug addiction and stuff too for some reason.
No, it's its own thing. But
it makes you anxious.
No, I think anxiety is a different, like
Sure.
a lot of these come in packages. Like I wouldn't say that,
I agree.
They're not mutually exclusive, but you can,
or like fear breeds anxiety kind of thing like that, where then they come together.
Yeah.
But again, if you look at the brain, ADHD is really different than PTSD and the way that they fire. And ADHD with hyperactive dyslexia, which is what my brother had, that displays different than what they're calling now attention deficit hyperactive disorder, where with the dyslexia that adds this whole other layer of a child that when my brother was young, my brother and sister both had dyslexia and severe. And when they were in school, they had no idea really what to do with it.
Yeah.
So they like put you on the short bus. That's really the truth.
Yeah.
You're in the room not really getting the help that you need. And I remember them not knowing how to deal with my brother in the classroom, so much so that they actually took his desk and his chair away from him and made him stand in the classroom.
This is
fucked up.
70s, bro.
For real.
Yeah.
No, my brother wasn't 70s.
Oh, 80s.
He's 5 years younger than me, so 80s. But none of this was really being talked about. So I think it's better now that we're talking about it and the conversation's happening.
Well, there's so much more information now too.
And that's the tricky part too, right? Is that you have to find someone who's really going to say, first of all, how do they know how to diagnose correctly? Why are they not just doing brain scans on everyone? Because that would give you your answer.
Because it's super expensive.
Yeah, it's super expensive.
Exactly. So if if everyone that had, manic depressive or bipolar, or they weren't sure what it was, could go get a brain scan, then we'd have a better understanding of how they're supposed to be medicated.
Yeah.
Were you medicated?
Oh, heavily. Not heavily, but for a long time I was. I was one of the first people on Ritalin when that came out.
And those are like really scary as well.
Like I don't know what the side effects long term. No one did. Had on me. I definitely, there's something that I can say that I think the drugs did. I barely remember anything like really, some people will talk about their childhood like it happened yesterday.
Sure.
People will recall like, oh, I was outside, like days, even weeks in a row of days where it's just like, oh, I can see, like, think back to when you were 6 and it's like how it was sunny and there was like all these kids.
Sure.
I can't remember anything really until I like before 20 years old.
Wow.
Is that repression though, or was that the medication?
Well, it might be a combination of both, because like I didn't enjoy my teenage years a whole lot, but I do try hard to remember, and I'll get glimpses of things.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't have any like hardcore trauma or anything.
Sure.
But I was so heavily medicated. And, this isn't to, like, put blame on anybody, Again, everyone was just trying to figure out what to do.
No, I get it.
And I did the Ritalin thing. I was on Prozac because I had depression, a lot of suicide attempts. And that runs in my family, too. It's just I wasn't diagnosed with anxiety. I wasn't diagnosed with, bipolar or OCD or anything like that. But, there's shades of that in
for sure.
pretty much any disorder you get hit with.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, yeah.
So the one that we've been reading up on and stuff, and I've been asking a lot of questions, is borderline personality disorder, which seems to be like the most frustrating thing for that. If you have a loved one that's going through that, or if I was going through that, they basically say, hey, all we can do for this is get you to talk about it and try to get over it, is what it sounds like to me, which seems really tough, because who wants to deal with that when they didn't ask for it? It's not like somebody deliberately went out and did these things to themselves to make them feel
right.
So
there are specific therapies, but again, most of these disorders are genetic disorders. I mean, they come with you, and you were saying
there's no getting rid of it.
14, 15.
That's what I mean. So it's just
it comes to fruition because puberty blossoms everything, and all of a sudden, and there is no getting rid of it. The hard part for me, and it's there are 3 or 4 people right now I'm really concerned about, and I honestly don't know what it is to fight your own brain. I have not, I say this to my teachers all the time. I say, don't teach something you don't have any insight into. And, be careful what you wish for, right? Because I really do believe that. I think that there is always someone who understands it fully and completely and can say, yeah, I'm more equipped to teach this particular type of meditation or this particular type of class because this is what I live with.
Right.
This is what I understand. I'm in this place right now as a teacher, and even with meditation, where I'm just trying to get everyone to sit still for a minute, because I don't know what it's like to fight your own brain, but I do know what it is to be fearful and to live with something that you have no control over. I don't know. There needs to be a bridge right now between isolation and trying to protect people from what's actually happening, and then mentally try to protect people from what's actually happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this is not, mental health right now is worse than it's ever been because of the isolation.
Yeah.
They're busier than they've ever been.
Well, it's the first time I think any of us, at least in this generation, have been forced to not do the one thing human beings are designed to do, which is be around other people.
Yeah. At least have the choice to do it. I mean, it creates a lot of fear.
Yeah.
To think and people are thinking about what's going to happen in November or whatever, the spike.
It's going to come back, and it's like, I think right now the best thing everyone could be doing, and I've been called alarmist before for other shit, but look at the trends. Like, all these states have just opened up or closing down again, and that's just going to spread. My wife works at a high volume retail store in the middle of Wrigleyville, and there are people from fucking Texas coming into her store not wearing masks like every day.
Yeah.
And you have to say, get the fuck out.
And we have to say,
open.
and it's like they're going to cause a fuss and breathe all their shit into the air.
Yeah,
and
that's
potentially
crazy.
get somebody sick, and that's just one store. It's probably happening everywhere that's open. Retail stores, downtown Michigan Avenue. Like, there's no way that it's not going to come back in bigger numbers. So prepare for the worst in winter, because it's going to hit again. But the good thing is we've done this before, and we know what to expect. And that's kind of.
But I think we did it wrong.
Well, Well, we didn't do it perfectly. It was the first time we ever did it.
We are destroying our economy. 100%. I am a small business owner.
Me too.
I will not. James, we will not survive if this keeps going.
Right. Well,
we won't.
Right. There are better ways to go about helping people like us, for sure.
But I also. I swear we weren't going to talk about this. I don't know. This fear factor is so high to me. I get it. I get that it's real, but I also get that if we live every day terrified, we talked about this last time, of other people and the space that we create, and humanity as a whole is in real trouble.
Well, I talked to my friend who's a fireman in New York City, Pete, And he said, and he's born and raised in New York City, and he said New York is going down quick, meaning the people. I go, you mean like the Bronx is on fire? And he goes, I hope not. But he says things are changing there. People are moving. My friend Sergio that lives in the Bronx, he said, he was making fun of it. He's like, these U-Hauls are picking up all these transplants faster than ISIS. People that move there with all their money are running out of New York City.
Yeah.
And the people that are staying are people that are like, where am I going to go? I'm from New York. So, that's the COVID thing, whatever, but what it's doing, like what you're saying, I think, is what it's doing to people, their hopelessness. That's what the amount of ODs. I mean, it's just like, I just keep kind of going. I mean, I put myself through so much shit over the last 15 years that I kind of just keep going, I got this. That's what I keep trying to tell myself. But I get little waves of where I'm just like, man, I do not feel good. Like mentally, I do. I get the same thing, but I shake it loose a little bit, but that's not going to last. That might be for now, but I also I'm also not away from, I'm with my wife that I love and her kids, and I got my dogs. Like, what if I was fucking one of these comics that lives in a room and his best friends are like 3 people that also moved here 4 years ago, and they're fucking drinking beer. You know what I mean? It's or
anyone who lives by themselves.
People who are alone.
I'm just saying my example of just kind of like where it's just like, yeah, man. It's like, there are people that don't have as much love in their life as we do, which also is part of it.
Right. Well, and people who are alone, sure, but people who are in like, economically ruined places,
sure,
like, the south and west sides of Chicago,
sure,
parts of that, like they have it. Like, I can't even fucking imagine what it's like to have no money already.
Yeah.
Right.
Which means no money for the hospital, no money to for your wellness at all. Like, you're relying solely on any tools you were given, just as mentally to survive. We're all very lucky. We have
incredibly.
Even though things are bad for us now, like I can't even fathom what 5 miles south of me is like for some people.
And even me, who's usually pretty reactive. That's another thing. Like being reactive to things, I think was a huge part of when I was more depressed. Yeah. I think that's how I handled my depression. Right. I was like, what? What's that? Or like drinking, being a maniac, all those things. And it's, I guess I feel lucky that I didn't really get to pinpoint my depression. Maybe I just to be able to like look back on it now, because maybe I wouldn't have been able to handle sitting in it. Maybe I don't think I would have been suicidal, but like I already couldn't be alone. You know what I mean? So maybe that was the universe keeping me safe by saying, all right, I think it's too much for you. Like, let's just keep drinking, and like pretty soon we're gonna see the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? But I feel so bad. Like, I'm trying to really, as much as I want to yell at people, like I usually do on the street, and I'm kidding, but like I don't, because the ripple effect though. Like,
yelled at the dentist yesterday.
She was out of control.
She's like, okay, so we call her Miss Happy because she's like the happiest person in the world.
But she's not listening.
She answers the phone. She's like, hi, how are you? Everything's great. Here's your this.
But she keeps talking. Anyways, let's not get into that.
He yelled at that person.
I don't like being robbed. That's all. No, listen. No, but I'm saying the ripple effect.
She's not the dentist.
That's what I told her to her face. I go,
she's the receptionist.
That's what I told her.
You like destroyed.
That's what I said. I said,
don't clap your hand at me. Seriously,
we were supposed to have a serious conversation and cry, and you're over here yelling at me. Let me just finish my thought, and then I'll shut up, and you can get back on your soapbox. I love you.
Okay, you know what?
I love you.
You guys, D equals divorce. Peace out, Manchild.
I don't want to do.
This is gonna be the Yogi.
The ripple effect of like causing heartache in someone's day, and then they might be having the worst week, month, COVID summer of their life.
Yeah, so you shouldn't yell at people.
So that's why I'm not, and I'm not. I don't want to yell at people. That sounds so stupid. But things happen. But I'm really trying to be mindful. Taking the high road.
Christian, my son got in the car for the dentist yesterday, and he was like, please don't do that. And if you do that, don't do it when I'm in there.
I was like, I'm paying for your cavity, motherfucker. No, it's just,
You're such a Karen, bro.
What does that mean? Can somebody clarify that?
Do you not know what that means? How do you not know what that is?
Is that from the tiger lady?
No, it's from fucking. It's a standard white lady name who yells at people and tries to get the manager and shit.
Tiger lady.
What? I
That's
thought it was
Carol.
Carol. And you know the thing is, why is her name got to be? Why can't? Okay, because Karen's like a white person.
You're being a real Karen right now, dude.
You know what's crazy is that before, when only a few people said it, it was fine, but now all these people, you can say it, James, because you know what it means.
Yeah. Spreading your Karenitis all over the studio.
But yeah, am I a Karen?
If you're yelling at fucking receptionists, bro, you're a Karen.
This is all I said to her. This is what I said. I said, slow down for a second. I said, slow down and answer my question because you're talking about a bunch of numbers.
How scary is that?
No, I said.
He's a tall man.
First of all,
a tiny little girl.
Hillary, let me finish what I'm saying.
Stop banging the table.
I object. I said to her, I said
all day. I do not.
Because she was belittling my dentist who was around the corner. She goes, well, maybe you should check if that's a safe place to. I go, ma'am, just because you have new paint in here and this building's brand new, a cavity should not be $380. One cavity filling. Come on now, come on, meow. So, but then she slowed down and then she goes, oh, but I meant. I go, you didn't explain it like that. So probably you're welcome. Happy lady at Happy Smiles, because now you'll be able to deliver next time. As long as I'm on, I got one more grievance. Every restaurant I've been to, my favorite restaurants, I won't name their names, same amount of people working, less amount of people eating. They act like they've never done it before. What is happening?
Fuck off, dude.
What is happening?
I threw up so bad last week.
From what?
We need to just eat at home. Everybody stay at home.
But regress. I know what you're gonna say, but this is the thing. Why? But I know the people that are working there. They act like they've never worked there before.
Yeah, because it's been 3 months since they've had a job.
It has. It's been like 3.5 months. It's been 4 months.
Bro,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to start making good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fucking announcements at Comedy Bar in a week. I can't even remember what I said.
Dude, don't bomb. Are you doing the open mic?
No, I'm doing Saturdays.
Saturdays.
Starting the 11th.
Good for you. They got rid of that guy?
No, we're just taking a little. We're taking a little. He's taking a break, so I can get back in there.
You know what? I want to say one more thing. Did you mute her mic?
Yeah, I did.
You know what? Hillary Lockwood, Hillary Ann,
Aaron Joel Putnam,
Hillary Ann.
Yes.
You are you're fire right now.
I got a lot of fire.
There's only one way to deal with this. It's to fuck it out.
Okay. So
anyway,
no, at the house. The libido's high today. I think it's because of my man. I think it's because of my manscape.
Because the one thing that kills that is sadness and worry.
Yes, we are worried. If you want to talk about it, you want to talk about it?
I don't know. No, I don't.
So anyway, so what I wanted to say more about. So James, you're not on meds now.
No.
Okay. Because does the weed? Okay, let's get here.
Yeah.
Does the weed help? But if you use anything too much, maybe it counteracts what you're doing.
So here's the biggest takeaway I have from my childhood and like all these places. It and this sounds like victim blaming. As a quote unquote victim of mental health issues, I'm telling you my experience. It's on the individual to use what is given to them.
Sure.
And I was given a large assortment of tools from all of these people that I spent time with. And a tool doesn't have to be a physical thing. It can, all these different ways of coping and
absolutely
breathing, yoga,
meditation,
is a tool.
Pranayama, all of it.
All of that is a tool.
Sure.
And one of my tools is weed.
Okay.
And it doesn't really get like I could still get angry if I'm high.
Sure.
But it's not even. I also, and this is just me personally, I don't feel like using a drug to change your mood is healthy.
I agree.
Because you're not fixing yourself. It's a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the big. So everyone can, if you can take that away from it, then you know what it's for. Because marijuana should be, or alcohol, like people that can have 2 drinks.
Yeah.
because people that don't drink, they're like, I unwind with a scotch once or twice a week, or something. Because
I'll smoke weed to like if I want to like edit an album or make a poster or play video games. Like I'm not like fucking not that I'm like tearing ass around the house or anything, but like if I feel like upset about something and I know like okay shit I'm about to get really mad, like I'm not gonna reach for my one hitter. I'm gonna fucking sit down and be like, all right.
Because obviously it's like we self-medicating, but like when it becomes about trying to mask a problem, that's when it always rears its head.
Yeah.
And that's what I always worry about with kids that I know that are young adults that like they get into that, and it's such a crutch to have at such an early age.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel comfortable in my skin. Let me do this.
But you have to face that.
Yeah.
You do, and you have to grow into that. You have to grow into it too a little bit. I think too. There's a lot of growing pains in the mix of all of that.
How do you feel about? I mean, obviously, I feel what it does to me. Even I got up off the toilet with my pants down to get my phone because I couldn't take a shit without my phone.
Oh, I can't.
That's insanity.
I can't shit without.
So, what do you
either.
think these social media is doing to like teenagers? Like for real?
Like
they're missing everything, right?
Like anything, it is a tool, and it's all how you use it. And
sure.
So some of these kids, especially right now, social media is the best thing in the world because it's keeping people in touch with other people.
Sure.
If you can't go physically see somebody, you better be on fucking social media.
But I guess what I mean, like as far as like like when I was a teenager, the reason I ran around is because I wanted to get like if I knew where a girl was, or you had to call them or do whatever. So now they're doing that from home. So if they like someone or they're missing something, they're seeing what they're doing. So it's driving them. What are you laughing at? I'm so done with you. I'm gonna make you eat Vietnamese food today.
High five, James. High five.
What'd you do?
So.
What'd you do? What are you high fiving for?
So listen, I've known Aaron since we were 12, and I know when we grew up, and we had to like call on our landline with our 9-foot cord in the kitchen to make a spot to meet.
Basically, if you wanted to finger somebody, you had to go find
That's
it.
not what I was saying.
Listen, so what I'm saying, I feel like in some ways though, like if you're on Snapchat and you like this girl and you see she's, but I think it's so much. I mean, our kids too.
Yeah.
In general, I mean, they're both articulate for the most part, but it's like kids don't talk the way they didn't learn the same way.
No one talks the way
it's like
anyone talks.
Explain yourself.
No, but the thing is, the world's evolving, and we either evolve with it or we're screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth because this is what's happening.
But I'm talking about what it does to
until it all falls apart.
What it does
so
to
all technology goes away, and
like
we're all
the ability to actually communicate. Though you can be great at social. You just keep talking when I'm talking. It's like so. I'm done. Is this a wet wipe?
No, those are dry.
Are they lavender?
I don't know.
Calm me down. Go ahead, keep talking.
No, go.
Well, I think I know what you're saying.
No,
what I'm saying, is like, feelings. Are you in touch with them, or do you need to text it in acronyms and give me like the gist of something instead of going, "I feel this way"?
Right, Grandpa. So what this is?
Acronyms are very confusing.
Well, I equate this. This is kind of like what we did with drugs with kids, Ritalin and Prozac and all. Like we think that like some of this stuff is good, but we don't know what the long-term effects are going to be.
Sure.
And it's different because everyone is fucking doing this thing. But that's humans adapt to everything. That's why we're so good at everything. And whatever comes of this, I think will be good because just that's the kids being born today have fucking touch screen phones with the internet at birth.
Yeah.
And that's
true.
they
learn how to play the iPad. Yeah.
There's no precedent for this. And I think that we're going to see a new kind of like human. Not to be all Elon Musk about it.
Like WALL-E.
It very well may be like WALL-E.
It could be.
I mean, half America's fat as shit anyway, so like, we're almost there.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
But I don't. It's all about how you use it, and like people like you're a little older than me.
Yeah.
But people in our age bracket will never understand what it's like to grow up like these kids are, and they're gonna make the world around what they have now, and we're gonna go die, and that's just how it. But that's how it is.
So what I was,
and you have to accept that. We're not gonna.
And I'm not complaining about it, because I'm not saying these kids these days. What I'm really saying is what I think we said in the beginning was what I was saying in the beginning is that kids. Or people, the stuff that we're using to make us more and more impatient is it's like a dog. Like when if I feed my dog table scraps and then I stop doing it, he acts like he feels like he's in trouble.
Why is this bad for your kids and not you?
No, it's bad for me too.
Why is it bad for you?
It makes me anxious.
Okay, but they're doing things more efficiently than you were doing things. So why is that bad for them?
No, I want them to use it for like the stuff that's good for them. But I'm saying. Literally stalking people through social media because it's so easily, I think it makes you feel like you're missing something all the time. Like when people don't get likes, I think kids deal with that even more than adults.
There's a big dopamine thing with that.
Yeah, the dopamine. Yeah,
and we're still seeing if that's actually a bad thing in the long run. Because if this is the way that the future is going to be, then what are you going to fucking take everyone's phone away? Like you can't do it. And no company on earth, and this is a problem with capitalism, but we don't have to get into this, is going to say, okay, well, we're just going to delete Facebook and just have nothing, and you won't get
China,
or we'll take all the reacts away, so you don't get your fucking dopamine. Like no one's going to do that.
Right.
So we have to figure out a way to adapt to this thing healthily. It's a tool, and as much as I hate Facebook, 50% of the fucking time. You have to learn how to stay healthy using it, because you're not going to not use it.
Yeah,
you have to. You have to. It's just as essential as food, water, and air. Now.
Let me try another angle.
Okay.
One of our sons would not think of calling anyone, and has full-on week-long interaction with someone through text message, and he feels like that's a relationship with someone.
I do the same shit.
That can't be healthy, because that's when they don't know.
Why isn't it healthy?
Because people don't know how to talk to each other.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Okay, right.
Because I see it in the text. It's like, what are you saying?
I understand, and that's kind of the problem with COVID, right? We're not seeing people in person. We're not talking to people in person. But the future of humanity is unfortunately going to be dealing with this, and with the advent of VR and like video calling and like all these other services that are becoming more prevalent because the technology is more affordable and easier to access for people with less money, we'll kind of slowly get back into that, I think.
Right.
But texting is more efficient.
No, I get that, and there's many things that should just be a text for sure.
Right.
I just, what I'm seeing just firsthand in my life with my stepson is that it seems to torture him.
I had e-girlfriends, dude.
What?
I had e-girls.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager.
Dude, back in the day,
it is. It's like
whatever. I want everyone to be healthy. I don't know. Everyone's sad, so put your phones down. Finger your neighbor.
Oh no.
If she's cute.
Fuck's sake, dude.
Finger.
He's gotta do something like that.
I think people need to love in person more. I don't know.
No, that's also
that's what you're saying too,
we
right?
Got to get to phase 5 for that.
Is it phase 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's groups of 50 now, I think.
So what? So comedy bar's not doing anything indoors yet, right?
Bad.
Huh?
Comedy bar's still just doing the patio by the hospital.
If it rains, we do 25%.
But so she's not doing anything in the actual comedy bar on LaSalle. No, because it's just too crazy. Yeah. Like Laugh Factory said, they have no idea when they're going to open.
Yeah, God bless you, Curtis.
I feel like everyone's kind of saying that people are pushing, which scares me.
You got to make some kind of money before winter hits, though. That's the thing.
Scares me.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Because they are going to close everything.
Regular flu season's coming. And then people are going to get the flu, and everyone's going to be like, what the fuck? Do I have the flu or do I have coronavirus?
Like July just started. It's not coming. We're okay. We're sunshine for a little
I was at Gino's East on LaSalle. It feels like yesterday. March 7th feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
We are in July.
Yeah.
Winter will be here tomorrow.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, like, for example, so I took this patient today who opened her big mouth and said, she didn't want to go to groups. This is how young kids are. She didn't want to go to groups so bad that she was like, I can't taste or smell anything. Can I go get a COVID test? So I took her to CVS, and then she's so dumb. She goes, well, I'm still gonna go get my hair cut today, right? I go, girl, you've been, what we called back in the day, you've been touched. Like, people know you're your story is just, you blew yourself up. Anyways, but we went to CVS. Now they're making millions of dollars off of the tests that they're not even testing you like they did in me in the hospital, and it was Jordan.
Right.
They're just, she had to do it in the car, shove it up her nose, throw it in this tube, and then put it in this thing in 5 to 7 days. She'll know if she had COVID.
And what everybody knows is that you have to shove it far enough up your own nose. Like, you have to basically almost pierce your brain.
I watched her do it. I
Otherwise,
said, how'd that feel?
Correct. I'm not sure that a drugstore test is the way to go for anyone. Just
okay, but this is the thing.
FYI.
My point is that the insurance company and CVS and all these people have found a new way to fucking make money. You know how many people are in that line for that test? So that's millions of dollars. They're going to get tested at CVS, get tested.
Right.
Okay, how about testing everybody intense like they were going to and getting results right away like they gave us in the hospital?
Yeah, yeah, that would be great.
So I don't know. I just think that,
we're still figuring it out, though.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah.
Different companies have different access.
Do you know anyone that had COVID?
I have a friend whose mother had it.
Right.
Didn't end well.
Didn't end well.
Yeah. And then that's as far as I know. I know people who know people who've had it.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank God no one like direct contact with me has had it.
So nobody in Chicago that we know either.
No.
So as this whole thing started with mental health, right? James, what do you do now to stay calm and reset?
Honestly, I'm lucky enough to be able to stay busy. I don't have time to be upset. Like, I'll still get random spurts of anger, but it's usually when I'm doing something meaningless, like playing a video game. If I fucking lose a match or something, I'll get upset. Right. And then when that happens, I'll fucking take a second. Like, I'll breathing is step one.
Underrated for sure.
Yeah.
I find myself holding my breath on accident all the time.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Fucking just breathe with just notice your breath. Noticing your breath.
I was just holding my breath just now.
Don't do that. Notice your breath.
You want to take it out with a meditation?
Oh yeah, that would be perfect.
Maybe we should just maybe we should do a little pranayama. We should breathe.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes. Let's bring it in.
All right.
You want me to lead it like I usually do? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's funny.
Joking.
Yeah. All right. So
if you're out there
listening, if you're out there and you're sad, let's find a seated space wherever you're comfortable. You can be against a wall. You can use cushions, in bed, wherever you want to be. Belly's tall, heart's open, eyes sweetly, softly closed, and palms to the knees, lap, table, but turn them upright, because keeping your palms up allows you to stay open. And when we close them, we're protecting, we're closing, we're shutting down. So it's really good to turn your palms upright. Let's take a nice big inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth, just release. And again, inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, just fall soft into self, which means feel every piece of your body. Feel every toe. Feel the shins and the calves, the knees, your thighs and your hamstrings, and your hips and your bottom, your belly, and your heart, your throat, your forehead, and allow it to widen and soften. Your crown, and allow it to warm and lift upright. Soften the shoulders, releasing tension. Let the arms relax all the way down to each fingertip. And then travel that energy back up through the arms, through the shoulders, gently into the neck, into the back of the spine. Once again, finding the crown and feeling a lifting upward. In that upward space, just visualize bright white light. We all reach upward and onward for something, whatever that something may be. See if we can do this today without expectation or anticipation, criticism or duality. And in that space of reaching upward, allow trust. Faith, whatever that may mean to you. Courage. And patience. And allow this energy to travel back down, through, and down the length of the spine. And as you find it hit the tailbone, just feel connected to the earth energy. Wherever you sit, whatever you sit on, feel that we are same, not separate. Feel that we are one, not alone or lonely. The only way we heal is together. Lift the heart. Place one hand on your heart center and the other on your low belly. And honor same. I am you, you are me, we are the same. And if we can battle all of this shit together, we're going to be better. Let's take a nice big inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Shanti.
Shanti.
Which means peace.
All right.
How you feel?
Feel good. Except for putting my hand on my gut made me feel fat. But besides that, I was really.
Oh my fucking God, bro.
You guys.
James, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Absolutely,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, we're learning. We're trying to keep up on this, and we're trying to help each other. And
Time you guys want to talk about shit,
yeah,
off air, let me know.
Yeah.
And if anybody was listening today and they want to email in something, what they thought of it or whatever, other things that maybe it sparked, that'd be great. We're trying to work hard on being more consistent on this and making this a part of our life. So thanks for listening.
Questions, comments, concerns, please always throw them my way. The IG is great, Manchild and the Yogi, virtual privates, etc. Especially if you're having mental health issues, those are free. Let's jump on board and just try to take care of each other. Nothing is more important at this point. So, yeah. And hopefully someday we'll all see each other in person. All right.
Bye.
Stay sweet.
Stay sweet.
I love you.
I love you too.
I do love you.
You do love me? You better, woman.
God, oh my God.
Bye.
So hard.